Hello again, fourth grade, and welcome to topic 11-4. In this lesson, we're going to focus on critiquing reasoning. Now, remember, when we're talking about critiquing reasoning, we're talking about looking at an answer or a solution and figuring out, was it solved the best way possible? Were there mistakes that were made? Is there a way that we can solve those, or we can correct those mistakes so that our answer is more correct? Let's go ahead and watch our short video lesson, and then we'll jump into our notes and guided practice on critiquing reasoning and talk about it a bit further.
How can you critique the reasoning of others?
Let's find out.
The line plots show the amount of rainfall for 2 months. Val said the total rainfall for February was greater than the total rainfall for January because 7/8 plus 7/8 equals 14/8, and the highest rainfall in January was 5/8. Think, what is Val's reasoning? Val compared the two highest amounts of rainfall for each month. Think, how can I critique the reasoning of others? I can ask questions for clarification, decide if the strategy makes sense, look for flaws in estimates or calculations. Val said the total rainfall for February was greater than the total rainfall for January because 7/8 plus 7/8 equals 14/8, and the highest rainfall in January was 5/8. Does Val's strategy make sense? Explain. Here's my thinking. Val's reasoning is not correct. She compared the days with the greatest amount of rainfall for the 2 months. The days with the greatest amounts of rainfall are not the total for the months. Val should have added the amounts for each month. Then she should compare the amounts. Why do you add all the fractions for January? You add to find the total amount of rain that fell during the month. Since there were 7 days with rain, add 7 fractions. Was Val correct about which month had more rainfall?
Select your answer.
Yes, she was correct about which month had more rainfall. During February, there was 21/8 minus 17/8 equals 4/8 inch more rain than January. Was Val's reasoning correct? No, Val's reasoning was not correct. Now you know how to critique the reasoning of others.
So based on the information we just saw, even though her answer ended up being correct, it wasn't correct because she did the work right. It was correct by chance. Now, if you add up all of the numbers, then you're able to prove why your answer is correct. You're able to explain your reasoning. Let's take a look at our notes and guided practice. So again, how can you critique the reasoning of others? You can ask questions to understand the other person's thinking. You can look for mistakes in their thinking or their work in order to help improve it. Now, our first example says a class made a line plot showing the amount of snowfall for 10 days. Nathan analyzed the line plot and said, the difference between the greatest amount of snowfall recorded and the least amount of snowfall recorded is 3, because the first measurement that has 1 dot, because the first measurement has 1 dot and the last measurement has 4 dots. So what's wrong with his reasoning? Now he says the difference is 3 because he's subtracting the number of x's from each other. His reasoning is incorrect because the difference in snowfall would be the difference in the measurement. So 1 3/4 minus 3/4, not subtracting the number of x's, 4 x's minus 1 x. So the actual difference is 1 3/4 minus 3/4. So the difference is 1 inch in snowfall. Let's take a look at another example. It says, Mr. Pally is building a desk using screws of different lengths. The instructions show how many screws of each length he will need to use. Mr. Pally concludes he will use more of the shortest screws than the longest screws. So the screw lengths that he has are 3/8, 1, 6/8, 3/8, 7/8, 1 4/8, 7/8, 3/8, 1 4/8, 6/8, 3/8, 1 inch, 3/8, 3/8, 7/8, and then 1 4/8. So we took all of this data and we put it into a line plot. So we started from 0 and I went up to 2. And since these are measured with fractions that have 8 as the denominator, we split each whole into 8 equal parts. And then we started to plot our data. Now he said he's going to use more of the shortest screws than of the longest screws. After we plot the data, we see that he is correct because he will need 6 of the shortest screws and only 3 of the longest screws to build the desk. Let's take a look at your guided practice. At a dog show, a judge wrote down the heights of 12 dogs. Cole made a line plot of the heights. He concluded the height with the most dots is 1 1/4 foot. So that is the greatest height. What is Cole's conclusion and how did he reach it? He concluded that 1 1/4 has the most dots, so that's got to be the greatest height. Number 2, is he correct? Explain. No, he is not correct. 1 1/4 is the most common height. That means most of the dogs were that height, but the greatest height is going to be 3 feet. So the biggest number that has X's above it. That takes us to the end of this lesson. If you have any questions, 4th grade, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great day and make sure you guys are studying for your test because this is the last lesson in this chapter. All right, take care. Bye-bye.